We're on step 9, which says create a 2D pie chart comparing the total sales for each quarter. So think about which numbers and labels we're going to use. Here's a hint: the numbers and their labels aren't right next to each other. We're going to select the quarter labels for quarters 1 through 4, which are cells B4 through E4, and then we're going to hold down Control, and we're going to select the total sales numbers for each of these quarters, which are cells B8 through E8. Now that we've made the selection, we can go insert our chart. So we need to go to the Insert tab, the Charts group, and this time we're going to click on the Pie button. And under 2D Pie, we just need that first option there. Our pie chart automatically lands over our data, but that's all right. We can see that our quarter labels appear in the legend here. And now I'd just like to show you some common mistakes that a lot of students make. The first is that they select net sales in addition to the quarter labels and numbers. And net sales, like we discussed before, remember, is a total. So let's see what that chart looks like. We can see that we have the 4 quarters here that make up half the chart, and then net sales takes up the other half because it's the sum or total of these other slices. So if your chart looks like this, you know that you've made an error. Another common mistake that students make is they take the quarter labels and they also use the Miami sales figures. I suppose because they're adjacent. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Okay, a little bit different, not such dramatic change, but we need, instead of just one city, we need the total sales for all of the cities. So make sure you don't make that mistake. I've got my numbers zoomed in, so if ever you see these pound signs, remember all we have to do is select the entire table and then just double click between the column headings to auto fit each column to the largest number. And can you remember what the correct selection was for our pie chart? It was B4 through E4. Hold down Control, and then we need the total sales numbers for quarters 1 through 4, B8 through E8. And then we go to the Insert tab, Chart Group, Pie button, and the first option there. 9A says move the chart to a new sheet, naming the sheet Total Sales Pie. So to put this chart on a sheet by itself, we can right-click in the blank area of our chart. That is to say, not over the chart itself, not over the legend, but just in this white space. And we're going to go down to Move Chart. We are told to place the chart in a new sheet, so we're going to select that option, and we have the option to title this sheet, and we're told to call it Total Sales Pie. And we'll click OK. And the charts move to a sheet by itself, you can see here. We could click on the Sales Sheet tab to get back to our data, and our column chart if we wanted to, but we're going to stick with the total sales pie sheet for now because we've got some more changes to make. 9B says add only percentage data labels. We're going to click on any slice of our pie chart, and when you do click on any slice, you see that that selects all of the slices. You can tell by these circles that appear here at the edges of each pie slice, letting us know that all have been selected. Now we're going to right click in one of the pie slices, and we're going to choose Add Data Labels. Now the default option when we add data labels is to show the accompanying numbers, that is the sales figures, whatever numbers were in the cell. We can see that these are the dollar figures that we had in the sales chart. But we're told that we need the percentages. So we're going to click on one of these figures, and we can see when we click on one, they are automatically selected. All are automatically selected. And we're going to right click, and we're going to choose Format Data Labels. Now it says here label options, label contains, and we have many different options. We can see that value is checked. We need percentages only, so we're going to uncheck value, and then we're going to click on percentages. Okay. And this show leader lines, I'll tell you what that is. If we had a slice of pie that was just a sliver, and the number was too large to fit within the sliver, it would draw a little line outside and have the number outside so that you could read it better. We can uncheck that. It's not an issue for us. So the only thing that we have checked now is percentage, not value, percentage. You could see it's a little bit difficult to see right now, but we'll make it larger in a moment, but we can see the percentages instead of the values. So we're going to close this, and I'll zoom in on the chart a little bit so that you can hopefully better see. And 9C says place the title Total Sales by Quarter, comma, a chart by your name above the chart. So we're going to make sure that the chart is selected. If you happen to click out here in the gray area, just click within the chart. That way you can see the Chart Tools menu, and we can see the contextual tabs. We're going to click Layout, and we're going to go to the Labels group and click on Chart Title and choose Above Chart. Now we're to title this Total Sales by Quarter, comma, a chart by your first and last name, and press enter. I'm sorry, I had it scrolled down. I can do that again for you if you like. Let's see. Layout tab, chart title, above chart. There we go. And your whatever you type just shows up in the formula bar instead of replacing the actual chart title. It will change when you press enter. So total sales by quarter, a chart by your first and last name, and there we go. We can see that it's updated. 9D says increase the data label font size to 36. So this is a very easy part. It's just like in Word. We're just going to click on one data label and that selects them all. We're going to go to the Home tab and just change the font size to size 36. And now you can see the percentages much more clearly. We're going to change the chart title font size to 20, so we can just click and that selects the whole chart title. We're just going to change it to 20. And the legend font size also to 20. So just click on the legend and increase the size to 20. Lastly, step 9E, we're going to position the legend at the bottom of the chart. So we can right click here on the legend and choose Format Legend. And we can read what it says here. Legend position, it's currently now at the right. We're just going to move it to the bottom. And it says Show Legend Without Overlapping Chart. We can keep that checked and close. And now our legend has been moved, as you can see, to the bottom. Alright, so there's our pie chart. And step 10 says use landscape orientation for both pages. Be sure the pie chart fits on a page by itself, and that the table and bar chart in the Sales tab fit on a separate page. Okay. So we want to use landscape orientation for both pages. So we're going to go to Page Layout and look in the Page Setup group. Click the Orientation button and make sure it says Landscape. It does. Then we're going to click over to the Sales Sheet tab here. And again, on the Page Layout tab, Page Setup group, we're going to click Orientation. It's currently set at Portrait, so we need to change it to Landscape. Okay. And we need to make sure that the pie chart fits on a page by itself, and that the items in this sheet, our table and our column chart, will print on a page by themselves. So we're going to go to the File tab, and we're going to go to the Print button. And under Settings, it says Print Active Sheets. So this was the last sheet that we clicked on. So it only wants to print this one. We're going to change that to Print Entire Workbook. And we can see now our first sheet, and we can see one of two. If we click the little arrow, we can see our chart and our column chart. Okay. Pie chart is on a sheet to itself, and our table and our column chart is going to print on a sheet to itself. That's exactly what we want. So last is to print both worksheets, and circle your name on the printouts. And step 11 says set the view to normal view if needed. So we can go to the Home tab and just make sure that we're in normal view. It's these buttons right here beside the zoom slider. Just make sure that normal view is selected. Okay? And save and close the spreadsheet, and you're done.